engineering firms. They were all good firms, could do the work, but our job was to narrow it down to the top three to start negotiations with. Rick Davis, Bill Steves, and myself made up the committee to look at those firms, and we ranked them with Jones Edmonds number 1, Darabi and Associates number 2, and I think it's HSW number 3. So what we're asking the board today is to consider approval of those rankings and also give us authority to start negotiations with the top-ranked firm. If we're unable to reach a contract with the top-ranked firm, then we would move to the successive firms after that. I think Jamie Bell with Jones Edmonds is here in the audience. If you have any questions of her, she's here to represent the firm today.
Anyone have any questions?
Mr. Chair, I believe the motion is in order. I believe would make a motion to approve the recommendations of the committee.
Okay. We have a motion to allow the committee to move forward.
I'll second it.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It's 4-0. Okay. Moving up, our next on item 3 is a discussion on a possible ordinance to establish restrictions on tobacco sales within the 500 to 1,000 feet of Madison County School. I see we have the health department, or the no smoking, tobacco free.
You have students working against tobacco and the Tobacco Free Partnership here.
Okay.
I'm here to support.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Juliana Tucher. Good morning, my name is Bethany Hoffman. And today we are representing the Madison County Students Working Against Tobacco. Thank you for allowing us to speak with you today. On December 12, 2018, the Students Working Against Tobacco youth members requested the Board of Commissioners' support to allow the Tobacco Free Madison Partnership and SWAT members to work with the county administration to help develop strategies to decrease tobacco use in rural communities. The purpose was to compile local data to help achieve the decreasing youth's access and exposure to tobacco and nicotine products. Today we are here to present those findings. In the packet provided to you by Ms. Pickles, you will find information compiled by Ms. Demps, the county planner. The packet contains a copy of a recently passed ordinance from Dixie County, properties within 500 and 1,000 feet of the schools both in incorporated and in unincorporated Madison, and listing potential retailers that would fall under the grandfather rule. The group identified 9 schools that would be part of the proposed area with representatives.
Good morning, I'm Connie Bell. The Tobacco Free Madison Partnership knows that decreasing youth exposure to tobacco companies' marketing and access to produce that contains nicotine is the key to decreasing youth initiation of tobacco use in Madison County. And our rationale is, research shows restricting tobacco sales within a certain distance of schools, playgrounds, libraries, and similar venues can help reduce youth initiation. The U.S. tobacco companies collectively spent over $7 billion each year marketing and promoting tobacco products in stores, according to the 2017 Federal Trade Commissions. One explanation for this relationship is that students of high tobacco retail density areas have greater physical access to tobacco products, which can increase consumption. Students in these areas are exposed to more branded advertisements for tobacco products at stores, which can stimulate demand and increase tobacco use. Companies for tobacco-free kids report annual tobacco industry marketing expenditures nationwide, $9.4 billion, with an estimated portion spent for Florida marketing each year, $614.2 million. E-cigarettes use among youngs has become an epidemic, according to the Food and Drug Administration. Madison County youth electronic cigarette use rates are above the state rate, as shown by the 2018 Florida Youth Tobacco Survey. The survey data shows that 16.4% of Madison County youth currently use electronic vaping. The state rate is 15.7%. This is a rise from the 216 data of 11.5% for electronic vaping. Preventing nicotine addiction among young people is critical to ending the tobacco epidemic. Nearly 9 out of 10 cigarette smokers start using nicotine products by the age of 18. In the past, Madison County Board of Commissioners has supported ordinances and resolutions to help decrease tobacco use in Madison County. At this point, approximately 90% of local tobacco retailers will be unaffected. We currently have 36 retailers in Madison County. In the future, we plan to approach the city commissioners to educate and inform on the buffer zone policy. And today, we ask the Board of Commissioners to review the findings presented. Our goal is to prevent initiation of tobacco use amongst youth and decrease nicotine use in our communities. Youth are the future leaders of Madison County, so please help protect them from harmful addictions and create a healthier community for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see that we do have some retailers that would be affected. What would be your suggestion on those retail stores that would be affected by this ordinance?
Let me pass that question on to Ms. Betsy.
Okay. From what we can just determine or have, looking at the findings and looking at what other counties may be doing, and other states for that matter, it would clearly be up to your discretion as to what you do. You know, your suggestion is you have those that are already established, I would assume you may want to grandfather those in at that point. That would be it's your discretion.
Okay.
I have a question for Counselor. If you're saying the business were to change owners or something like that, could the new owners be prohibited from selling tobacco products?
I think you can certainly do it that way. You know, when you, if you decide to grandfather an existing business, you would set out the terms of that grandfather. So you could, for instance, say, well, as long as tobacco is continuously sold, it can continue to be continuously sold, whether you change owners or not. You could say, when this owner leaves, the grandfather goes away, you can provide it when you want. If you do say that the grandfathering stops with this owner, what you have done though is you've made that business less valuable when they go to sell it. You know, and that's within y'all's discretion, but I think, you know. And if I can ask one question, how many other counties and cities have passed these kinds of ordinances? I know we've got one for Dixie.
Alachua County has as well. However, they did that as part of a tobacco retailer licensing system, which they, have done recently. They have actually several components into that. Alachua County has also done that. We chose Dixie County to look at because they're more comparable to Madison County.
The other thing I would recommend is if we're gonna do something like this, I think you probably want to limit our ordinance to the unincorporated area and let the cities pass their own ordinances dealing with the incorporated area. Because number one, that's, you know, that's very local kind of concern there.
Sure.
They would want to get themselves up.
And Dixie has a new school, do they not?
Yes.
And they built out
Right.
from the city center, if you will.
Correct.
So, you know, which would not be a problem with the high school or the central school, but when we have, and these businesses are already there. And I just have a problem. I mean, I don't smoke, I quit, I'm glad I quit. But I'm worried about these retailers that would be adversely affected.
So I think, Mr. Chairman, you'll need to decide if you care to go forward, if you want to think about it more, if you want me to draft you an ordinance that you can look at, or, you know, what you want to do.
That would be my suggestion, draft some type of ordinance for the unincorporated areas. And I think the city need to deal with the ones that are in town here. And we would only have one that we would have to deal with in the Pinedale area, is that my understanding?
I think that's the only retailer that sells tobacco that would fall within 1,000 feet of a school in the unincorporated area.
Okay.
So that's the only one that would really affect, because the Greenville school, well, the other one in Greenville's in the city limits, isn't it? Or is it?
The
Alright.
retailer, the
Yeah.
school.
The school.
I believe the school's in the county.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I'm not
Anyway,
sure.
yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I want to say it's in the county.
And I think think if we have an ordinance that says you can't sell in the unincorporated area within 1,000 feet of a school, I think even if the school's in the city limits, a retailer in the county wouldn't be bound by that.
Right.
You know, because that's kind of the only way you can do it, otherwise you'd have pockets that nobody was controlling. But yeah, we can certainly do it, if you want me to draft the grandfather provision, I can certainly draft that for y'all to look at, or however y'all want it.
I think if we do that, and I don't have a problem with it, but we would grandfather that premise in, because if you only grandfather that license holder, it would greatly diminish his value if he ever decided to sell or retire or what have you, so that would be, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the language had something, as long as the business continued in that type of operation, it would continue on should it change hands. If that's what you're referring to.
Sure. Yeah, it wouldn't diminish the value of his property, you know, if he were to sell and he closed his doors and whoever bought it would be crippled. And I'm not advocating tobacco products, I'm just advocating the business owner.
Right. We're not against the business,
I
we're
understand.
against the project.
Right. I understand.
And Mr. Chair, I'm like you, I tried to smoke years ago, but I just couldn't catch up.
They might have all that.
Yeah. Mine too. But,
Well, repeat your, was that a motion?
well, I'll make the attorney's recommendation, how would like that, for that be the motion to do one for the unincorporated areas? And, the grandfather in, if the business ever change owners? Cause we don't know how much sales tax is generated off cigarettes.
The way I'd propose to do it is just saying, as long as the sales continue with uninterrupted, that location would be grandfathered. I think that's how you want to do it. So
Okay.
if they quit selling tobacco for 90 days or 180 days or whatever, the grandfather goes away. You know, and that way, if they were trying to sell the business, they would still be able to sell the business.
That'll be my motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? 4-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, number 4 on the list is the discussion for hours of sale of alcoholic beverages in unincorporated area. We have had, or we have in your packet, there's 2 letters from local retailers that have submitted letters asking the board